Your Humanities Half Hour is brought to you by the Northern Marianas Humanities Council, navigating the human experience together.
Hapaday, Tiro, and welcome to Your Humanities Half Hour. I'm Catherine Perry, and today our guests are Frank Ada, supervisor from CNMI Forestry, and Dave Combs. He is the Urban and Community Forestry Outreach Coordinator, and they're here to talk to us about one of my favorite topics, which is trees. What does trees have to do with the humanities? Let's find out. Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Happy CNMI Arbor Month.
Yes.
You guys have been busy this month.
We have been.
I see little flame trees planted along the side of the road and Beach Road. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you for being flexible today and working with me for us to kind of explore how trees are such an important part of the human experience. And I was wondering if we could start off with some of our common trees here in the Marianas. I was thinking endemic trees, and then I realized I've confused myself and I don't even remember exactly what endemic means. Endemic means what? Originally from the island?
Originally from the island.
Okay. What are some of the endemic trees, and there's a long list, that people might be familiar with that are originally from the Marianas?
Yes, that is correct.
Gulus, Ephid. What are some other? Dauk. Man, there's so many.
Yeah.
But
And these are the trees that have been here ever since, basically, is kind of what endemic means?
Yeah, it's been here for the longest time.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
The longest time.
Are there any threatened trees, like endangered trees in our community?
there's a whole lot of those.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, we've got a list here. Cereanthes nelsoni.
Okay, speak
one.
English.
No, you know what? They call it
Or Chamorro or
That's the sign-
the
Carolinian.
fire tree. Fire tree.
Fire.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yes.
They have a lot
Okay.
of that in Rhoda.
Rhoda,
Mostly
right?
in Rhoda.
Yes, yes, okay.
Here, these are in Chamorro.
Oh, yeah.
This one here. Because you don't want the scientific name, so.
Oh, no, we can do science. Yeah, I was just joking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cichorchia mariano, Cichorchia humbernania, let me see here, Osmoxylin mariananis, Polychies. I probably butchered these names because
Your Latin's not so good?
I never studied Latin. Who studies Latin anyway? So, there's probably about 13 trees that are very hard to find, if at all, and they're protected, they're endangered. There's special procedures to even collect the seeds, germinate the seeds, keep them in a nursery. We have to keep them separate and locked. And then we track those trees when they're planted out in the community, and we don't readily make that information available because, they need to grow and mature without being molested.
I'm imagining that maybe some of these endangered trees are found mostly in Rhoda, or what can you tell us about them?
A lot of them are mostly found in Rhoda. Actually, the 13 that Dave just mentioned, most of them are found in Rhoda.
Okay.
And I believe four of them are found here in Saipan, Rhoda, as well as Guam in the Pacific.
Would you happen to know any of the other common names other than the fire tree? I know you're a scientist.
They've been gone for so long that even some of the locals don't know what the names are. They'll say, oh, it's the one with the red meat on the inside of the tree when you cut it, or you can do this with it, or this is what you use it for. And even if you sit at a table full of elders, you know, they're struggling to try and remember the names and almost starting arguments. Just, I no, not that one, this one.
Oh, wow. So they're that rare.
That rare, yes.
It just kind of goes to show how, like, culture is in the language, and if you lose the language, you lose a lot of knowledge. If you lose the tree, you lose the word.
Yes.
You lose the word, do you lose the tree? No.
No.
Yeah, you could, because if you don't know the word and you don't know the tree existed or exists, then how do you know to try and bring it back?
And maybe the name also tells you something about that tree, like maybe what it was used for. Anyways, that's a tangent, but let's get into some storytelling. What are some, growing up, what were some important trees in your little neighborhood? Where'd you grow up at, Frank?
I grew up in CK, District 2.
Okay.
And most of the trees that was very important to us during that time was basically flame tree and ironwood trees.
Okay.
You know, because there was a lot along the beach area, and flame trees were used a lot for like Liberation Day, for any, you know, festivities, you know, the flowers. And it looks so beautiful when it's season, when it's their season to blossom. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we even started planting, because there's very little yellow flame tree on the island. So we started propagating a lot of yellow flame tree and started planting them out in the community as well.
Someone shared with me a memory, and I don't know if you remember this, when Beach Road had so many flame trees around it that it was almost like driving through a canopy of flame trees on both sides and overhead. Does this ring a bell?
Yes, actually, there were a lot, but when they started fixing the roads from Micro Corporate AK all the way down to Payless or Chalancanoa Cathedral, they removed most of the flame trees. So that's why we went out last week. We started last week to replant them, because that was one of
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the goal of the late Governor Arnold Palacios. He sort of instructed us that he wanted to plant a lot of flame trees along the Beach Road area. So we waited until Public Works gave us the green light that yes, we can start planting, and that's when we went out last week, and we started from right across the multi-purpose heading north to plant.
Well, thank you for that. It's going to take a few years for us to enjoy the results,
yes,
but
yeah.
at least we've started. I grew up in Oleai, and I would say the trees that were important to me personally growing up were the fruit trees, because like when my friends and I would want to have a quote-unquote party, of course we didn't cook or buy any food. We'd go and gather the iba, the atis, the papaya. You know, they'd husk and grate the coconut. I'd make the coconut candy, or we'd boil the, what's that called? Duk-duk?
Duk-duk, yes.
Duk-duk is that a breadfruit? Or
no, it's the small brownish colored, almost like a seed, but
almost like a chestnut.
Yeah, like a chestnut.
I heard somebody say that's actually, it looks like, I always thought it was a breadfruit tree, but they said it's not a breadfruit tree.
No, it's not.
It's something. Do you know what we're talking about? It kind of looks like a breadfruit, and then it has the big brown seeds, and boil those. Very sweet, like chestnuts.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Obviously, maybe you grew up with different trees.
I did. Much different. I was from Oakland, California, so in my neighborhood we had lots of fruit trees, and we raided them, I'll tell you. We had a lot of fun with that, but I think my favorite is the deodar cedar. I think that originally came from Europe. In England you see a lot. And redwood trees. Up where I live, there was a lot of redwood trees in those days. So we had an abundance and a wide variety of different kinds of trees, completely different than what we have here.
What are some of the trees that are important you have found in Chamorro and Carolinian culture?
The langilang tree. That's you know.
Ilang-ilang, I think they call it in English.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you know they use that for marmar as well as, you know, and the smell is very, very, very nice, very smoothing smell.
Have you ever noticed when you're driving back road?
Sam Santi back road.
Yes. A certain time of the year, if you roll down your window, you can smell the langilang?
Yes, it's on the left-hand side. Going down to Sam Santi, it's on your left-hand side. Going up, it's on the right, right after the post office. That curved
That area,
That
yeah.
area, yes.
I'm not.
There's
I
a
can't
lot-
remember what time of the year it is,
There's-
but I've noticed that
They're blooming
before.
now.
They're blooming now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot there. There's a lot there.
Okay, so Langilang, and how about, are there any others you can think of, maybe related to canoe building or?
Well, I know probably a long time ago they used to use breadfruit trees to make the canoes, but we don't have any that big growing on any of these islands anymore. So that's kind of out. One tree that I know that a lot of folks have been talking about culturally that they would like to plant near the beaches is the orange coconut. Apparently that was used as like an offering before people would go out into the ocean and fish. So they wanted to see those come back and things like that.
You mentioned when we were chatting before the show that one of the things your division is doing is really like welcoming input from the community as far as what kind of trees they would like to see. Is that correct?
Yes.
Like this suggestion. So how are you engaging with the community to kind of share ideas, hear from them, let them know what you guys are doing?
Asking questions, just getting out there. We have a forest advisory council that we ask questions about, and they're the real experts in these trees. They come from a cross section of the island. A lot of college professors and things like that are on the board, and we've asked them. It's like, okay, what kind of trees should we always have in our nursery? And we're waiting to hear back from them at our next meeting. But when we go out and we chat with family, with friends, with people, we're always asking questions, or people are always telling us, and because we want to know, what do you want to see? Where do you want to see it? What are those trees that were ancient that you want us to bring back? What are some trees that maybe we can, put in some marquee locations like intersections and things like that? We need the community to be involved. We can't do it ourselves, and we shouldn't. It's a we the people thing, and we need input from everyone, from school kids all the way to our elders. And it's everybody seems to have a common vision about what they wanted to see on the islands.
What is that common vision?
The common vision is, yes, to plant it and make it look beautiful. Yes, especially along the roads and tourist places and parks and things like that. But they want useful trees. And
Useful
trees.
I'm all about useful too,
trees.
yes.
And so, yes, we're
Food,
talking
medicine,
about
yeah.
Canoes and making leis and all these great things, but food, right? They want breadfruit. They want fruiting trees. They want nut trees, and especially citrus trees, which was very interesting to us. It's like almost every single person mentioned citrus trees that they want to see planted in the parks and along the roads and at the beaches and wherever we can put them. So we're trying to meet that by planting those in our nursery and get those going.
So I'm sure you guys are aware of Rhoda Mayor Aubrey Hook's campaign, 1,000
Yes.
That's
fruit trees
1,000.
on Rhoda.
Yes. Fruit trees.
So exciting!
Yeah.
Like that's
And
going to be Free Fruit Island.
I think
Forget about Free Fruit Village.
by this year they should be able to complete that.
Wow.
Because we communicate with James. James Manglonia is the forester in Rhoda, so he's the one who's spearheading that with the mayor and the Rota delegation, senators and congressmen, in coordinating that activity. So they go out almost every week, and I think by the end of this year they should be able to complete that goal.
Yeah, that's amazing. And just thinking about making these accessible to the public, especially with Article 12, and people who are from here may not be able to own a plot of land to grow these trees. And for example, and some of them are used for medicine as well. Like in my yard, I have a guava tree, and I've had strangers drive by and stop and say, can I pick some leaves? Like my baby has an upset stomach or something like that. So it's creating accessibility to food and medicine
exactly.
For everybody. Love it.
Yeah, guava trees also is good for cancer.
Oh, yes.
I was doing research on that. Noni,
soursop.
soursop,
Soursop,
and
yes.
soursop leaves. And even the coconut, the 3-year-old coconut, like Dave mentioned,
Tres años.
the colored one, the bright yellow or orange.
Yes, yes.
Those are medicinal.
Oh, okay.
Coconut.
Well, I know like you can drink coconut juice if you're, let's see, if you have diarrhea. Coconut juice is good, right? Yeah. Hot tip.
Oh yeah, but there's so many medicinal trees, plants, herbs, and shrubs that are on these islands, and our local healers know what those are. They're passing down that knowledge, but we don't want to lose that because we want to know what those plants are, and more importantly, how to make the medicine. But being trained to do it, because you could get people sick if you don't know what you're doing. So it's important that you engage, a skilled healer to teach you what to do, how to gather those things, because there's even certain techniques in gathering it, when to gather it, how to prepare it, and then how to administer it. And there's so many uses. We might be better off just eating local medicine than taking stuff from, stuff from the pharmacy, to be honest with you,
No, I do. I try to medicate myself with food and plants. Yes, yeah. All right. Well, thanks, guys, for that. We're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll be back after this break to talk more about the benefit of trees.
Looking for resources about Marianas history, culture, and more? Well, check out the Northern Marianas Humanities Council's collection. Our extensive video, audio, and photographic library can be found on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at 670 Humanities. Or check out the written resources on our website at nmhcouncil.org. And for those who prefer a good book, we also have a selection of local publications for purchase. So, dive in, explore, and share your comments as we navigate the human experience together.
Welcome back. We're chatting about trees with CNMI Forestry. Frank, do we feel better when there are more trees around us?
Of course. One, for example, is shade, gives shades.
True.
And, when you go there and you sit down and, sometimes you reminisce of the past. When you go to the beach and you sit down on those trees, say, hey, this was planted by my uncle way back, or I planted those 10, 20 years ago. And a lot of the trees also have beneficial to the community, not only to the environment. Like some of the trees that we started planting out also and propagating in our nurseries are medicinal type of trees. So we want to populate a lot of those medicinal, because a lot of people also are coming asking for medicinal plants at our nursery.
Is there any scientific evidence that trees have a positive effect on mental or emotional health?
Oh yes, there's abundant studies out there. We were at a conference last year in Chicago, and they were talking about that a lot. Some of the countries like Norway, Sweden, Denmark are big on planting trees just for people's mental health. Planting a certain number of trees within a certain distance of homes, so you can see it out the windows. People are actually, they have a program over there where people are texting a tree, where they can text a tree. The tree will have like a number and they'll text it or email it. I don't know if anybody reads any of that or not. But,
does the tree respond?
Well, you know what? I don't know if someone responds on the tree's behalf, but sometimes you need to talk to somebody. You need to tell something, get something off your chest. And if you could, text a tree something or talk to a tree, I could see that. I've been a depression sufferer in my life. And one of the biggest things that have helped me is just going outside. Just going outside, looking at a tree, being near a tree, under a tree, and just, letting nature, come back as you're sitting quietly, the birds, the butterflies, and then you start seeing the details, and then your focus is off of whatever it was, and there's so many studies, and it's enough that it points to truth, and what we need to do is plant more and get people out there in amongst the trees. I think people start feeling better.
I can see how a tree could be a good friend, non-judgmental, always there for you when when you need a good listener, right?
Yeah, they're not going to argue with you.
Okay, Frank kind of alluded to the aesthetic benefits as well of trees.
Well, aesthetics are important. In the Garden of Eden, the Lord planted a garden with all his favorite trees, and they were pleasing to the eye and good for food. And there's no reason why we can't do that here, because the trees are beautiful to look at. They're soothing, they're useful, and they're good to eat. Our island here, depends right now on tourism. And, our beaches are so beautiful. They are so beautiful. The land is beautiful. The people are beautiful. We just need to plant more because this is a war-torn island. We've suffered typhoon after typhoon. And, we need to get out there and replant those trees and put in some other trees that help protect those trees. But, when you're a tourist and you're coming from someplace, you want to go to the desert. You want to go someplace that's soothing and nice, and you drive down the road, and the governor, when we were there for the signing the other day, was making a joke about having the intersection look so nice that you forget that the light turned green.
Oh,
right?
That's a goal.
Better than turning red and then you don't see it because you're looking around, right? He's a funny guy. So, but you want to draw people in with just the beauty of things and the passion of the people and their inspiration and creativity in selecting those trees and where to plant them and that they planted them. I mean, what would different neighborhoods look like with different community groups or neighbors getting together saying, this is what we want to plant here, or different beaches? Each one would have its own flavor or character depending on what kind of trees and where it is. So much can be done, but, it needs to be the people who do it. But it would be wonderful if people came here just to look at our beautiful trees, and our roads are getting improved, our buildings are getting improved, our beaches are just spectacular. We just need to make those things appealing, and not just for our tourists, but for us too, because there's so many places you just drive through and it's just like, ugh. Right? I mean, maybe not right? but it's like, okay, we have a number of interns working for us right now, and we'll drive them around and we'll say, okay, I want you to look with the eyes of a forester. What would you plant here? What would you do to improve this neighborhood or this corner or this park or something like that? And that's what we need the public to do. It's like, look with new eyes. It's like, what would work there? What would be good for us? What would be pleasing or good for food? Those sorts of things.
What is the benefit to, say you have a piece of property, and a lot of times, when it's going to be developed, they'll just come in and bulldoze the whole, everything. What is the advantage to considering, maybe I should keep this mango tree or ironwood tree, or what's a pretty one? The monkey pod. Oh, what considerations might a person make as far as how that might add value to their property to keep instead of bulldozing?
It's kind of like investing money, time. I mean, how long does it take for a tree to grow to maturity? 10 years, 20 years, 50 years? I mean, you want to enjoy your property now. You want your children, your grandchildren, your neighbors, your friends to enjoy it. And I understand why, some of these contractors are bulldozing some things, but, if you can keep some, then you can plant others nearby, and that canopy will help protect another tree that's starting to emerge, and then that one might protect another one. I mean, that's kind of the agroforestry concept, where you leave everything and then you only plant as you're going, and you use what's there to help mulch it, to help keep it watered, to protect it from the sun and the wind and all these things. So before you bush cut, and if you're going to plant something, maybe check NMC crease, right, to start you a food forest, and they will tell you, don't bush cut. Right, we'll come out, we'll look at it, and we'll tell you, it's like, okay, leave this one, plant another tree here, this one, and then you put in a cover crop. Because if you If you bush cut everything, you're going to get what's called succession. And
Which is more bush cutting?
a lot more, right? And you know, people burn and people want to clear land quickly, but if they don't have a plan for it immediately, like within days, the seeds that are flying through the air, that are in the ground or being dropped by birds, that's what's going to grow. You know, we're going to end up with all these invasive vines or saccati or something that you don't want. It's going to be even worse than it was before. So before you bush cut, plan. And contact NMC Crease or us or MENA or PCRP, and you know, we can give you some advice on what to do.
And we were even joking during the break that if you want to bush cut less, maybe plant a couple trees in that area.
Yep.
Yeah. Guys, I really want to thank you for your time today, and especially everything you're doing this month. Is there anything else you want to mention about Arbor Month activities, even though it is the end of the month? Anybody you want to thank, or any other project you want to mention?
Well, we want to thank the community and those volunteers that has been out there. Kupu staff that actually their staff.
What's Kupu?
Their staff from the Memorial Park, but since Memorial Park is closed, they were assigned to the Forestry.
Oh, nice.
Because we have 2 Kupu staff also.
What's Kupu?
It is an internship. They call them members, but it's through an organization in Hawaii called Kupu Hawaii. And Kupu in Hawaii means to bloom and grow. So we get a lot of young people who are interested in this field. And what we do is we expose them to different techniques, opportunities, to train them to be leaders.
Nice.
And these are the folks that are going to take our jobs, hopefully, right? And
Yeah.
and do it better than us. So
Okay.
we've been blessed with an abundance of them recently.
So they're working with you now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, nice.
We're working together. We started 2 weeks ago at the baseball field up here in Capitol Hill. That's our first Arbor Day tree planting activity between MENA, PCRP, Forestry, and some government agencies came out. We had a schedule like 9 o'clock, maybe Department of Finance, then 10 o'clock another department from the area to plan.
Who was the unlucky office that got 1 o'clock?
You
No,
know,
just kidding.
They picked their times and they were happy to come.
Yeah.
You know, we had accountants in suits almost.
Yeah.
We had
Everybody
ladies who
loves
were
trees.
dressed, you know, their best for work, and they're showing up and planting trees, getting their fingers in the dirt, and it was great. It was really wonderful.
Any final thoughts before we go today? Dave, I'll give the final word to Frank.
You know, we're out there, we're planting trees, especially along Beach Road right now. Just be aware of it. I mean, you might have been able to kind of park anywhere you want to, drive anywhere you wanted, but just know that those trees are planted there. Look for them. We've done our best to try and protect them and let people know that they're there. So, you know, just love those trees. Our late friend Pedro Tadella, you know, his passion was to protect those newly planted trees. So just keep those trees safe. Love those trees, because we didn't buy them from some nursery in the States. We grew those trees from seeds. So those are our babies. And now they're everyone's babies. So just know that they're there, treat them well, and look forward to opportunities to come and plant trees or grow trees.
This is a bit technical, but do you know how long it takes for a flame tree to blossom?
Yeah.
Estimate. 5 years, 10 years?
Maybe 10 years.
10 years. Okay, so we got to look after these babies for 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Frank, final word.
Well, we just want to ask the community for their, if they want to be involved, to come and check us. And we'll be more than happy to, if they want to dedicate a certain area or certain beach area or anywhere, we'll be more than happy to provide them with whatever trees or plants that they are looking forward to plant at whatever area. Because we have to survey the place first before we provide the seedlings. Because we want to make sure that that type of tree is good for that area, is fit for that area. Because like, you know, beach area, you don't want to plant anything that will not grow, you know, you want. So we just ask the community if they're willing to come and help and be a contributor also, we'll be more than happy to provide them with the seedlings.
All right.
And, you know, plant. Let us work together and let us make our island beautiful.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you guys for all you do. Really inspiring and encouraging to hear what you guys are up to, and hopefully more people will get involved.
Thank you, Kat.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
Our guests today have been Frank Ada. He's the supervisor for CNMI Forestry, and also Dave Combs. He's the Urban and Community Forestry Outreach Coordinator, talking to us about trees in our community and why they're so important. This has been your Humanities Half Hour. I'm Catherine Perry.
Your Humanities Half Hour has been made possible in part by a major grant from the National Endowment for the Humanities. Democracy demands wisdom. Any views, findings, conclusions, or recommendations expressed in this program do not necessarily represent those of the National Endowment for the Humanities. For more information or to share your thoughts, contact the Northern Marianas Humanities Council at nmhcouncil.org or on social media at 670 Humanities. That's 670 Humanities.